Yeah. So, doing this again. Slasher Interupted, part of the 10-minute games collection. Um, Previously I've done one of everybody, done hers, done hers. So now we're just going to do hers, which is the actual slasher story. So, sorry, soft pink thing, but it's scary story o'clock. Yes, content warning, mild drug use, swearing, and description of murder. It's actually recording this time. Yes! Past few times I've tried to record this, it's not moved past this window. Whatever. Okay, the beginning is always the same. But for the sake of doing the whole thing, I'll read the whole thing again. It's the last time after all, why not? Everything feels smothered in darkness, just the faintest glow of the moon lighting up the edges of shapes. Street lights flicker and fail as you walk, and the sound of your footsteps echoes in the silence. Your phone struggles to cling to life as you use it to light your way, but as you reach the end of the road, the battery gives out. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust. Swaying on your feet, hesitating before soldiering on, you see something out of the corner of your eye. Eek! It's a monster, really. It's coming to get you. Stop it! You made me jump. Rosie laughs and retrieves her hand after making Ellie jump. Caroline smirks briefly and waves a hand to shush them. Quiet, girls. Let Emily continue. I want to hear what happens. The three of them settle down, Rosie and Ellie in the blanket, and Caroline on the camp chair next to it. The campfire illuminates their faces with flickering orange, shadows stark and sinister, and otherwise cheerful expressions. You clear your throat and continue where you left off. Okay, so, you see something out of the corner of your eye. Whatever it is, you can't make it out before it disappears. Squinting in the darkness, you make your way down the street to the house. The wind whines through the trees, plaintive and warning, sending a chill up your spine. When you reach the gate, the outer light triggers and illuminates the garden. Disappearing behind the tree, you see... not a kitty. Not a Halloween decoration. A wicked blade flashes in the dark. That's actually going to be this one this time. A wicked blade flashes in the dark. Nice. Glimmer of metal sets your heart beating. You freeze in the spot as the knife disappears out of sight. When you can bring yourself to take more steps into the garden, there is nothing to be seen behind the tree. Shapes move in the corners of your vision. You look around frantically for whatever lurks in the shadows. You shout in the darkness, challenging whoever's there to show themselves. The only reply is the wind brushing through the trees and the faintest hint of a laugh. Laughter seems to come from different directions. You feel small and vulnerable, stood there in the garden. Clutching your dead phone to your chest, you try to make out anything in the hedges. The laughter stops. You can't see anything but trees and bushes. The feeling of being watched and taunted sends a shiver up your spine. You don't waste any time heading indoors. Hopefully it'll feel safer inside. Familiar, warm, lockable doors. With a last quick check over your shoulder, you open the front door and let yourself in. The door closes with a creak. Come on, your door doesn't creak. It does in winter. I have to put WD-40 on the hinges. You do? Just because you don't notice doesn't mean it doesn't get done. The windows stick when it gets cold too. Ham. The three of them trail off quickly and let you keep talking. I didn't say it was our house, it is a house. It is totally your house, you're narrating though. You keep that quiet. Anyway, the door opens with a creak. The only sound in the darkness. You close and lock it against the outdoors, taking a deep breath of relief. But inside, it's weirdly quiet. You call out, hello, and nobody responds. You creep down the corridor and peek into the living room. The light is on low, with quiet music playing from the stereo. Over the top of the sofa, you can see the back of two people's heads, unmoving. A A sense of dread washes over you as you step closer to the sofa to see they're dead. Nah, super stoned. You just fell asleep cuddling. You glance at Caroline, keep following the horror vibe you'd intended. You step close to the sofa. Every step causes a sick feeling in your stomach to rise. When you see the figures closer, you gasp and take a step back in shock. Sprawled out on the sofa are the bodies of... You hesitate for a moment, unsure if naming actual people is too weird. Of two friends. Their clothes torn and bloodstained, cut up by some vicious knife. Eek! Whose two friends meant to be? Two friends of yours. Is it me and Ellie? I don't want to be stabbed. Fine, it's Jake and Amy. They came over band practice and now they're dead. Grody. Oh no, Jake and Amy are dead. I know you don't like them, but chill with the sarcasm. I don't actually want them dead, but the stakes are higher if they're named right. It's not, oh no, generic friend is dead anymore. It's visceral. I'd be sad if they get stabbed. So, your two named friends are dead on the sofa. That's classic Jake and Amy. You turn away from the grisly scene, horrified, your stomach turning at the sight. Anywhere here, the killer could be waiting, ready to strike again. The stereo plays in the corner, ignorant of the death in the room. As the next dub track cues up, you go to switch it off, but a sound in the kitchen stops you, and you freeze. Whoops. You stare, I can't remember what that last was. You stare at the kitchen door, a grim sense of foreboding rooting you to the spot. It feels inevitable that you'll have to open it. No, run away. Grab a weapon. Fuck it, open the door. You take a few deep breaths to try and steer yourself. Looking around, all you can find is an umbrella. You pick it up and weigh it in your hands. It's flimsy, but it's something. You creep closer to the door, press your ear against it for a moment to listen. It's silent on the other side of the door, sinisterly so. One hand on the handle, you glance back at the sofa and swallow. Whatever's in the kitchen, you're facing it on your own. With one quick movement, you snap the handle down, push the door open to see the killer. Surprise birthday, pizza's on fire. Stick to your horror guns. Time for an appropriately slashery ending. You peek around, umbrella out there ready. There, hunched over another body. A dark shape looms. Who knew? Oh yeah. You only have a moment to take in the body on the floor, the blood seeping out of them. Who is it? Who's dead? Maybe it's you. Rosie clutches her hand to her chest in mock pain. No, it can't be. Avenge me, Kaz. So many people dying. It is a horror story. Figure looks up from Rosie's bleeding corpse. Whack. Straightens up with a dark laugh. Their long blade flicks from their coat. The muddy fabric, shapeless and hooded, hiding their face. You brandish your umbrella in front of you, desperately stepping back as they swipe through the air. Go for the eyes! Run away! You jab the umbrella forward, aiming underneath their hood. They bat it away with ease, approach you one heavy step at a time. You swing your umbrella at them, trying to knock the knife out of their hand. They slash, and the flimsy end snaps off, half the umbrella dangling in a spidery mess. Jerk it and run! No, throw it at them and kick their feet out. You throw the umbrella at the attacker and try to kick their feet out. Try to kick their feet. They stumble and stagger towards you with an outstretched hand, stepping backwards to avoid them. You back into the sofa and lose your balance. Your foot slips and the blood trickling onto the floor. You fall backward, your head hits the floor with a slam. Everything goes black for a second. You wrench your eyes open again, just in time to see the glint of a knife. Eek! Okay, we're dead, let's stop there please. Well, it was just getting good. Your shoulders sag as you reach the end of the story. In front of you, the campfire is dimmed a little, whilst you're narrated. You nudge a log further in with your foot. Well, that's it. The end. Claps excitedly. Liars, why you do this to me? That was scary. That was great. But we died. Rosa died. Harsh, bruh. Don't Brownie, this is why you died. Twig snapping noise comes from the trees nearby, and Ellie jumps. What was that? It's the Slasher. They're real. Don't. I want to sleep. I won't sleep. Sorry. Rosie subtly reaches around Ellie's back, taps her on the shoulder. She shrieks and falls away, then bats Rosie's hand away with a pout. Alright, let's not be too mean. We said at the start that campfire stories have to be horror, right? I said, what if they were cute instead? You're cute. Shush. Go get me a biscuit for being mean. Now that's an idea. Where are they? They're in the tent. Whee! Crawls away from Ellie. I think she's the only one that's animated to just go up and down. I'm all scared now. Sorry, Ellie. There's no slasher, really. She sniffs and smiles thinly at you. Well, I enjoyed the story. Could have used less interruptions. For one of the interruptions, you shit. To build the mood, but it was fun. Give us more jokes. And talk with mouthful. Sticks her biscuit-coated tongue out at Kaz, who passes the pack back to Ellie. Whatever. Emily, you gotta throw more jokes in next time. They're like the best bit in horror. They're not. The horror bit is. The two of them start to bicker, whilst Ellie eats biscuits and quietly watches over them. It's nice to see Caroline animated about the story. Secretly, you're glad you had the chance to tell a slasher story. The campfire setting just feels right. Maybe you could have told the story differently, but at least you and Caroline enjoyed it. Caroline ending. Well, that's kind of the end of that, isn't it? I wonder what the ending would be with a few mixed options here and there. This is the last video I'm going to do in this anyway, so I'm actually just going to click through really fast and so it'll probably just give me the mixed ending again, but let's go. We'll start off with a slasher and then see what happens if we romantify it. Did I go for this one? Because that kind of fits the whole people laughing in the dark and, you know, like trying to spook her to go inside. Or do I just go horror again? I don't... I'm just here to see the ending. I know if I pick her, it's a bad ending. Like, as well as a mixed ending, but let's see. You veer the story towards Ellie's idea for the second time. I don't know if this game's quite so complex as that. That's why I'm just clicking through on the quick. As you open the door, there's a bang. You close your eyes in shock. You raise the umbrella. You feel something light patter against it. Letting your eyes open again, a shower of confetti falls upon you. Rosie yells, "Surprise! It's your birthday! Surprise! It's your birthday! It's my birthday! Yay!" So Jake and Amy are just sleeping through the party, huh? You hesitate for a moment, trying to retcon that in your head. They're just lulling you into a false sense of security. Two of them emerge behind you and say, "Happy birthday." Caroline rolls her eyes. "Happy birthday." Ellie smiles and does a little wiggle. Yeah, strawberry top birthday cake. We've got presents too. Okay, right, so we're at the end. Front view dimmed while you... Well, that's the end. That was a bit of a change of tone. A bit. I like that it was mostly cute. Yeah, you got a cute cuddly couple and a birthday. It was nice. I don't want to hear a scary story before I go to sleep, so spooky out here. Gestures around mostly empty campsite. Slightly less noise than the story. Just don't think about creepy knife guy outside. Well, now I'm thinking about it. Let's see. This is the bit I was gonna like. I want to know about the endings, how this bit differs. guess that was a setup, of course, for a grisly birthday party. Slasher murder! No! They were just, bringing a knife to cut the cake. Nobody's convinced by that. Yeah. Where's the snacks in the tent? Wee. At least to entertain them a bit more consistently. Seemed like a good idea to try to please everyone. Kaz seems to notice you for staring frustrated at the fire, whistles quietly to get your attention. It wasn't that bad. Trying to appeal to everyone is admirable, at least. Thanks. Thought that counts, right? Yeah. So there was just like a couple of lines of dialogue that changed for changing it. You could flip through it yourself if you want. The game itself is like £3 or something like that. But yeah, this is the last one I'm going to do in this one. I've forgotten this character's name. I've clicked through it like 3 times and I've forgotten the character. Ah, well, whatever. This has been Purple's Route. That's what I'm going to call the video. Purple's Route. Yeah. Just a good old fashioned slashery story. Always seems to be the beginning of the story that I really like. Like, it really does fit the theme quite well of a horror no matter what. Like, even the cutesy, the cat, you know, it's there. She's all spooked and then turns out, oh, it's just a cat trying to get its attention, and then she looks up, paranoid. I think hers is actually scarier than the flat out slasher. The joke Halloween toy thing, I mean, that would spook anybody. Like, it was a prank intended to spook, but after which the person's still really nervous as you would. You just walk through the dark, you've got no source of light, you're like, right, I'm going in. And hers was, I think hers was actually a little too blatant, you know, like knife glinting in the dark, you know, because to me it kind of begged the question as well, how did they get inside after that point? To which I'd be going, well, it doesn't matter about the one in the kitchen because there's still that fucker outside, isn't there? So I think like my ideal story would actually be start off with a kitty cat, because that had a bit more ambience to it. As for the middle scene with the 2 fuckers on the couch, I don't think flat out killing them means much, but these 2 don't match either, so like the middle section's a bit bleh. And as for the third one, you know, like, it's blatant birthday party, you know, or the pizza one was quite fun. I do like the pizza one. Or, you know, the slasher, like, nobody wins in the end slasher kind of thing. Jason Voorhees style or whatever. Yeah. Oh well. I really enjoyed this game. I'm glad I came back to it. You know, like, I know these were intended to just be like 10-minute games, but, you know, I've had at least 4 times that. 5 times actually, going by the length of this one. Just on this one alone. Good wee visual novel style. Maybe look into the developer, see if they've done any kind of longer games. Pick one of them up at one point. Anyway, take it easy.